Welcome on board the Love Boat.
Love, exciting and new. I'm aboard. I've been expecting you. The Love Boat.
Soon I'll be making another run.
It's a love. Welcome aboard. It's love. Yeah!
Hello, valued travel partners. Thank you guys for joining us so much today. We're so excited to have you. I am Marcia Patrick, Director of Sales for the Western United States and all of Canada. I am so happy to be here with you today because today is the celebration of you. So thank you for joining us. We've got a little bit of housekeeping to do, and then we're going to get to the really good stuff, what everybody came for. I saw somebody from Kissimmee, Florida. I saw somebody from Vegas, Journey to Enjoy. Oh, I like that name. Hello from California. Oh, we've got somebody on, Carrie from Chicago. Hi, guys. Hey, Kristen. Kristen Lieb says, excited to learn. Great, Kristen. So I'm going to get to our housekeeping. Thank you guys so much for tuning in live. And we've got some special stuff coming for you for joining us live as well. So just as a reminder, we are always recording this. We always record it. Stick around for the end of the Q&A, and there's some special stuff I'm going to talk about in a second. So you definitely want to stick around for the Q&A. And then QR code alert. We are QR code heavy, so make sure you have your cell phone sitting next to you. Just having it on camera might be a good idea because then you can scan the QR codes that we're sharing with you so you can get to the information that we would like for you to see. So on today's agenda, we're going to have some travel advisor selling secrets, some special travel advisor guests, which I'm super excited for you to meet these wonderful people. And then we're going to do some National Travel Advisor Appreciation Day celebrations. We're also going to talk about our epic adventures that are now on sale. So we had a full-on webinar about this, but we're going to do a quick rebrief of that. Then we'll talk news and notices, and then we'll get to our Q&A, right? So, but today is all about the fact that we love our travel advisors. We really love you. And literally our job is to make sure that we are working with you, partnering with you, making sure that it's easy to do business with Princess. And so that's what we strive for every day. But happy Travel Advisor Appreciation Day. I know it's not today, it's actually May 7th, but it's Love Month in May, right? And what better month to also have Mother's Day, right? So I also liken travel advisors to like a mother figure. You guys do it all, and you're always available, kind of like a mom, right? Even the guys, and he's like a dad too. And then the year, we celebrate travel advisors all year long, 366 days, not like 365 like some other people. We are 360 days of celebration and love for our travel advisors here at Princess. So stick around because we're going to do some prizes at the end. I think we alluded to that in the webinar offering, but stay to the end because we're going to pick from those people who are still with us at the end. And we've got some great things to share with you there. So you guys probably all know this, but why book with a travel advisor, right? Totally saves you time. The convenience, all the research that somebody individually would spend doing is likely already sitting with a professional travel advisor because they've already experienced it, right? The other thing I like to say is that our travel advisors are so important to us because you guys know each of our brands, right? You know who's going to be happy with Princess versus who's going to be happy with another line. And so that's why you are so important to us because as an industry, there's so many people who have not cruised yet. And you guys are the ones that are bringing us the new to cruise. And you're putting them on the correct cruise line. So they enjoy their time with us. And then they talk about the fact that cruising was a fabulous experience. And then we get more people to join us. So you guys are the key to our success. And we cannot thank you enough. And you are so important to our industry. Let's get to our special guest. So we've got some real industry veterans here for you. We've got Cheryl Helmold, who's joining us. She's on the right in this picture. She's Mood and Back Travels from Chino Hills. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi. Nice to
Hey,
be here.
Yay!
Thank
Nice to be
you.
here from the Coral Princess.
Yes, Cheryl is so dedicated here. She is sailing on the Coral Princess as we speak, and took the time to join us today. So I'm jealous of her view, and I'm jealous that she has the Plus package or Premier, whichever one I know she has a package, and
Yes,
and that
always.
I'm not there with her. But thank you, Cheryl, for joining us. And we've also got Kevin Branch. He's from an Expedia Cruises office, Thunder Bay, Sudbury. So he is our Canadian guest today.
Hey.
Welcome. How are you guys both doing?
Sorry.
How are you doing, Kevin? You're good?
Fantastic. Thank you. Yes, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right. So we've got a couple of questions that we, thought about that we wanted to talk to you guys about. So I'm going to start in on those. So the first thing I'm going to ask, and I'll start with Cheryl. Cheryl, how long have you been a travel advisor?
I just celebrated 10 years in February.
Fantastic.
Wow. 10 years. Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
a long time. As you know, like being a travel advisor and being in the travel industry, we feel every bump in the ether, right? Like anything
Yes.
that happens in the world is really
Right.
affecting us. So you're a true
Absolutely.
veteran for 10 years.
Yep.
And how about you,
Good.
Kevin?
I'm just entering my 5th year. It's been
Yeah.
very productive, very busy.
That's good. We didn't do this intentionally, but I like that we have like midway in and then tenured. I like that because you guys are going to have some different, I think, views. Okay. So what brought you to be a travel advisor? Like Kevin, why did you start this profession?
To be honest, my wife is also a travel advisor as well. She started prior to COVID and then everything shut down. So I figured, you know what, why not do all of the training?
Yeah.
First one I did after through Tico, and that was the princess training.
Okay.
That just motivated me to keep going. And, as a youth, I've traveled extensively with my parents over the world. So it was only fitting that I now do it for fun and work.
That was amazing. So did you like started training like during COVID? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's smart. You use your time wisely.
Smart.
Did everything 5 o'clock in the morning till noon every day.
Wow. Amazing.
Amazing.
Okay. Cheryl, what brought you to being a travel advisor?
I was always in the hotel industry before that. And then when I had kids, I was planning everybody's travel. I would literally plan their hotels, their cruise, their cabin, and I would turn it over and say, call this company, you want this cabin, you want this. And I didn't believe that I could actually be a stay-at-home independent contractor. And even when I found that out, it took me another year and a half to jump in. So
wow.
loved it.
Wow.
Love it every day.
Amazing. There's so many different professions that come into the travel advisor industry. It's really fascinating. Okay, so now that we know how long you've been in the profession, why don't you guys tell me what's one thing you wish you knew when you started out as a travel advisor? And I'll start with Cheryl.
I wished I would have niched right into cruise only, pre and post, but I was trying to do it all. And for me, it didn't work to know the beaches of Mexico and all the hotels and different places in Europe. I know them for all pre and post, but it was, I would have just niched right in the beginning. Yeah. Right. Into cruise. Yep.
Okay. Good tip. What about you, Kevin? What's one thing you wish you knew?
I think one of the first things is you're looking at your clients and you're trying to offer them everything. So you spend an awful lot of time and not a lot of productivity. So I would say work less, produce more, find that niche market. I sell probably 95% cruises, 80% are princess. So there is my niche market now. So it is very comfortable to sell those, and knowing the product. But that's the biggest thing, is probably doing less but producing more. Yep.
Work smarter, not harder. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. So what's funny is that you guys did not talk in advance, and you both have kind of the same
Same
advice,
answer.
very similar vein.
No, we did not.
Yeah, and whatever that is, yeah, I do agree. It's also easier to learn things in chunks, right? So it's
Right.
easy to like learn one brand and then branch out and learn the next brand, right?
Right.
Learn everything about that. You can answer all those questions. Then you can
Right.
start something else. I agree.
Right.
All right. How about, and I do not know the answers to this question. So apparently this is like, I'm not doing broadcasting very well because you should not ask a question you don't know the answer to, but I'm going to do it today. Kevin, are you a Commodore?
Yes, I am.
All right. How did becoming a Commodore help your business?
I believe that, the training that you're going through to get to that Commodore level makes you understand the whole product line that Princess has, as well as specialties, whether it be the premier packages, adding cruise tours onto it, specifically with Alaska, which is wonderful. We did it last year. So to understand all of those, you can really and Princess Easy Air, adding all of those from start to finish, it will help you in the long run have a one product offering for your clients.
Right.
Right.
Great. Thank you, Kevin. Well, okay, Cheryl, actually, I might have told a little fib because I'm certain that Cheryl is a Commodore.
Yes.
Cheryl, you're a Commodore, correct?
Yep. So
Okay.
mine,
How,
I'm just going to
how did you
piggyback.
become?
I'm going to piggyback on Kevin. I did that 9 years ago. However, Princess is one that does the refresher courses. And so you keep us up to date constantly, which is big. Not everyone does that. And so at Plug, when you're the 3 refresher courses that are out right now, if you haven't done them, there is one on Polar Online. Take the time. Get on that Polar Online. Take some extra time for that. Really go through it. It's an amazing course on Polar. So if you don't know it, if you're afraid of it, that Polar course, refresher course, is outstanding. Outstanding.
Thank you, Cheryl. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jen, who runs, who she basically does all of our academy courses and everything, and she's done a phenomenal job. We're so happy to have Jen with us.
That's great.
All right. So what, next question will be, what section do you use most on OneSource? What do you find is, where you kind of gravitate to on OneSource? I'll start with Cheryl.
Princess Experts. I can literally get onto Princess Experts, look up 90% of my questions are answered just by going to Princess Experts. So type in if the first, thing you type in doesn't quite answer your question, put in something else until it'll answer your question for you across the board.
I love that because I'm a huge fan of Princess Experts. I personally use it myself. The other thing I think sometimes people don't realize is that Princess Expert is the exact same tool that our reservations agents use. Our business development managers, if you're asking our BDM a question and they're not sure of it, they're going to look at Princess Experts too. So like Cheryl said, it is right there at your fingertips.
And it's quick.
I highly recommend you start there. Right.
Start there. It's quick.
Great. Yep. What about you, Kevin? What's the most
I think one of the most important parts is to connect with Princess webinars and to register for them at an ongoing. They're very.
I didn't pay Kevin to say that.
But also, even just the sales and marketing. My wife and I use a lot with Facebook. The marketing materials are fantastic. Of course, on our side of it is the training refresher course, like Cheryl was mentioning. The destination courses are fantastic on OneSource, and I will go back and even review them, even though I've watched them several times. We're pushing a lot to Europe and Asia now, and those type of things. I've gone back and looked at the Asia refresher courses and those type. So it's always there and it's always changing, which I really like, as well as
amazing
online chat.
Yeah. Online chat is huge too.
It's great.
So, and I've used chat with other, industries, and sometimes it's a bot. Our chat is not a bot. It's actually a live person, and they can usually handle many things. Two of the main things they can't do, like if there's an escalation or an issue, you're going to have to call in for it. And then a lot of things that are involved with easy air has to also be called in for if you're unable to do it yourself. So, but almost everything else they can help you with. I completely agree, Kevin.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Okay, so what is your favorite feature of Polar Online? I'll start with Kevin.
I just find it is very user friendly, from everything to booking easy air to all of that, having no deviation for flying in 3 or 4 days before or post compared to other cruise lines where it's so much per day penalty, which I love. I'll go back to the online chat again with Polar because it's remarkable. They're very knowledgeable, and it is live.
Yes, as the person.
Yes. I was on with another cruise line the other day, and it just kept sending me for more prompts, and it says, "Does this help?" I just got out of it.
No.
Yeah, I actually experienced that the other day with Amazon. I was trying to I don't ever have problems with Amazon, but I had an issue with a package and I was trying to chat and I could immediately tell it was a bot and not a real person. I'm like, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Cheryl?
Well, I like it all. Polar is by far my favorite booking engine. And I'm going to give you a tip, and Princess is going to kill me when I say this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Go on and book a cruise. Go on, book a cruise. Then before putting any money on that cruise, just play with it. You can't break it. So go down and change a cabin, change a category, change a sailing. Everything is on there. You can do almost everything. I do 90% of everything I do is on Polar Online. I don't usually have to call in. It's just learning it. But it is by far the easiest. Some people, I'm always shocked when someone says, "Oh, I don't understand Polar." Just scroll down, all the little gray bubbles on the bottom, open them up. Just look around, find the cabin list, play with it. And then get rid of it before it, goes to wanting a deposit.
Yep. And you know what? And there's training for this too. So our contact center leadership team put together some training. There's a beginner video, there's an intermediate video, and then there's an expert video. Those are all on one source. And then like Cheryl just said, our refresher course is on Polar. There's a course on Polar Online. So we do want to really help you with that. And we've just armed our business development managers too with PowerPoint decks on training for Polar Online as well. So we're ready to help you. I think it's a fairly easy system, but I'm jaded. I've been doing this for 28 years and I know it inside and out. So that's why we wanted to have Cheryl and Kevin on to share their feedback and how it works, right? Okay, so next question. How do you guys drive groups with Princess? Or do you drive groups with Princess? And do you have any group creation or promotional tips that you could share with our TA audience today? And let's start with Cheryl.
I'm on a group sailing right now. So I'm on the Coral, and I'm on the Coral for the repositioning from LA to Vancouver. And then we're staying on, and I have another group sailing Vancouver round trip, and it's Coral's first trip back. So my suggestion is when Princess comes out with things like the solar eclipse, the 60s, the 60th anniversary, or whatever you're good at, if you know the Mexican Riviera, or if you know Canada, New England, book a cruise with a group, easy to do on Polar, and then promote that group and do sail with me. I'm sailing with my guests first on this one, and then I have more people coming on then for the round trip Vancouver. And they're not sailing with me because they want to sail with me, but people like to sail with other people.
They do.
People like to go with someone else that's going, and these people tend to learn each other, and then we all sail together and start it that way.
How do you promote your groups, Cheryl? What do you do to let people know that you have this group?
On Facebook. So I will go on Facebook and let people know that most of my guests are all on Facebook. And and then within that, we do private groups on Facebook. So once we have a group sailing, we become a private group. And before we ever board, everyone knows each other. And then
Yeah.
there another one will come out. We did solar eclipse. I would say half the people that are just did our solar eclipse are on this round trip as well.
Wow.
I'll get to know each other
Wow.
and kind of just roll. It's good.
Great tips. That's a tip that I give often about, and you're doing it both ways, right? So your people know you're going. That
Yep.
could be a selling point for them, or maybe they
Yep.
don't care that you're going, but they're going to
Right.
go anyway. And but people, I think, underestimate. I think travel advisors underestimate their power and the amount of people that you know that would go just because you're going, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Kevin, what do you think? Do you drive groups with Princess? And if so, what are your tips?
I certainly do it, and probably 70% of my sales are group driven.
Okay.
We usually have at least 3 to 4 groups per year with
Okay.
Princess. So we're off one in January. We're doing Iceland, Norway in May. We've got Japan for 26. We've got a couple other ones already. I'm a little bit different. I structure my groups as to where I'd like to go in the world. Sorry. And places I haven't been. Although, you know, Europe, we were embarking in Rome 3 times in 1 year, but it was wonderful. The following year was all in Southampton. So,
Yeah.
you know, and people, we were in Oktoberfest capitals. Those people tend to sign on to Japan, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of it is promoted through Facebook. Our franchisee has 13 storefronts. So we have a flip book of all of the Princess cruises, which we post. So we book, and that's the benefit of booking into groups, not only for yourself, but for your colleagues, for tour conductor credits, etc. You know, anybody can book into my group. They're making the commission. They're helping me with my tour conductor credits. The biggest thing is don't be afraid of groups.
Yeah.
And I will say one, why I like Princess groups the most is there's no charge for booking rooms.
Right.
You're correct. Yeah.
Where others are $800 for 16 rooms, what have you, Princess is free.
Right.
Absolutely. Yep. And the other good thing that I always like to share is that we protect from booking number 1. So there really isn't anything that you're going to lose for trying to have a group, right? Set up a group, promote it, see what you can do. If you only get 2 bookings, you still get the consumer facing benefits. We don't make that come out of your pocket, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
And
That's perfect.
you have group space for a longer period of time.
100%.
Some we have to have deposited within 60 days.
Yeah.
We can book day 1 and 6 months later, we can still be promoting our group, same pricing, everything the same, but we can still be promoting that price. So someone is going and says, oh, my cousin wants to go, and they're still going to be guaranteed the same fare. I love that. You know, 6 months later. I like that.
I'll add on that because Princess is unique with that. As other groups, prices tend to change. Japan for 26, I took cabins out the first day it hit the market. So obviously, the earlier you can put a group together, the better the pricing. And
absolutely.
You know, that my posters will be there. That price will be the same until they want to draw back the rooms. So that's what I like about groups with Princess as well.
Same.
Great tips. I had another question, but I think you guys answered it about, you know, do you have a tip for new advisors on how to create groups? Did you guys have something you wanted to share there, or do you think you've answered that?
I'm just going to say that Princess, it takes me about 1.5 to 2 minutes to create a group on Polar. It is so fast. That's including your gap amenities and what you're going to put on there. It's quick. Doesn't take long. You don't have to call in. You can.
Yeah.
But you can do it without calling into groups. And the groups department is amazing when you need help with things, but it's quick to, you know, pull group space and from
it's
day
literally
one,
literally 3 steps to create a group.
Quick.
I also like with the groups as well is, you know, there could be, you know, I'll just say you're a group TNR and it's posted as that. And people can go and book it. And it automatically shows up in your booking list. It goes into the TNR voyage, right? So it is super fast. It's probably the easiest platform for putting groups together, including the Gap, like you mentioned, Cheryl. It's so simple.
Simple.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I'm gonna blush. Okay, so last question. And I'll have Kevin start. What is a differentiator that Princess has compared to other cruise options?
I will say one of the things, because we've done a lot of Princess cruises, but again, like I said, most of my clients, is the customer service on the ships. And I will point a lot of that back to the medallion, Princess medallion. You walk up to the bar, hi, Mr. Branch, would you like another Merlot? It is very personable compared to a lot of the other cruise lines. And people come back, they love it. They don't have to carry a key card, which I did do another cruise, and I left my key card in the room because I'm so used to walking out and it just locking, and I had my medallion with me. I'm on another cruise ship, and that's what draws me back to Princess as well.
Thanks, Kevin. What about you, Cheryl?
Well, I love, and I very rarely do not sell a packaged. So Plus and Premier are by far the best packages out there. There's nothing close. Yeah. So if I don't even quote a standard fare.
No.
I immediately quote it with, and I have a rare occasion when someone would prefer to go standard, just because of the inclusions. By the time you do Wi-Fi and the prepaid gratuities on there, and I'm going to get one bottle of water, a soda, and a coffee, it's paid for itself. They're amazing, amazing packages.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing when you put your group together, is to include one of those packages, no matter what.
Right. Yep.
Yes, great tip. Yeah,
100%. You include them, you price it with it, compared to some competitors where gratuities is no longer included. People like a one price. This is what it's going to cost me.
Right.
It's true. It's true. I'm glad you mentioned that, Kevin, too, because so when you open a group with Princess, it's automatically at the standard.
Yes.
But you can there's a code that you can apply to your group that makes it Plus or Premier. So anybody who books that group rate with you will automatically have Plus or Premier, depending on the code you selected, and automatically changes the pricing on your group contract. There's no points. So I often get this question. We don't take points for you to change it to Plus or Premier. It's 0 points. But you have the power to make that change yourself.
Yes.
Best. Yes. It is by far. Really, truly. Not saying that because I'm on a Princess webinar. It's truly the best. It's truly the best package out there. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Cheryl and Kevin. I mean, I can't thank you enough for taking your time. First of all, Kevin, time is precious, right? So I really do appreciate you guys taking your time to be with us. I hope that our travel advisors have learned from your recommendations. I know I did. There were things that I learned as well. So thank you so much for joining us. I can't thank you enough. I will talk to you both soon. And Cheryl, I hope you continue to have a fantastic time on the beautiful Coral Princess.
Yes, enjoy your cruise, Cheryl. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye now.
All right. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. I think that was really good information, especially about groups. And I will tell you, I had no idea what those answers were going to be. Right. So again, I did not take the broadcasting tip, or, what I should actually do as a broadcaster is know what answers are going to be, but I didn't. And those answers were excellent. I hope it was very helpful for you guys. All right. Thank you. I'm seeing some comments. Thanks, Donna. Very helpful. Great. All right. So now we're going to talk about sharing the love with our advisors. So this is a picture of some of our team members at an event in Florida where we had the big love letters, because that is really what we're all about. We spend a lot of time trying to think about how we're going to share the love with our advisors. And one of the things that we do every year is we have Love Fest. Carmen Roig, our fearless leader, brought this to us as an idea when she came and joined us 3 years ago, and we've been doing it ever since. And I love it. So every year we have an opportunity for you to join us. Most of the time it's on a ship, but then we are also doing these on land as well. So there's a QR code here because we still have some Love Fest to come. There's a Love Fest in Vancouver. There's a Love Fest in San Francisco and Seattle. I'm going to be at all three of those, joining our fabulous business development managers there and presenting to you all as we also show you our beautiful ship and host an amazing lunch. So there's all these different options here. There's some on the East Coast as well. I'm going to flip back really quick back to this QR code because this is where you can go in order to get to registration and requesting to join us on those. And then also local BDMs, as I mentioned, will also have Love Fest on land, and they will send invites out via email for those as well. So please join us at a Love Fest. We'd love to have you. We love to talk business, talk about all things Princess. And what's better than getting on the ship and seeing the hardware? We also carve out time to make sure that you're also able to see staterooms on our Love Fest as well. The other way that we share our love is seminars at sea. These are fantastic. Reduced rates. We also try and do what we can to help with the single supplement to either one, not have one, or to reduce it so that you can still join us if you don't have someone to go with you. But something else that someone mentioned, one of our BDMs mentioned that travel advisors didn't know, that as long as your agency is okay with you taking someone with you, it doesn't have to be a travel advisor that sails in the stateroom with you. It could be your husband or an adult child. Anybody that could be on their own while you're doing the training, that is an option as long as your agency is okay with that. So another QR code there for registration. What we have to offer for the first time in a really long time. I mean, maybe we've done this before since I've been in sales, but I don't recall us having an opportunity to do a seminar at sea in Europe. But we do have one August 9th. 7-day Mediterranean on the beautiful Sun Princess. That still has very few seats available, as you can imagine, or staterooms available. But we've got lots of space with our Canada, New England. We've got a Pacific Wine Coast, Vancouver to Los Angeles on the beautiful Royal Princess. There's a 7-day Canada, New England. There's so much to pick from. We're really actually very proud of the options that we've been able to give you guys for these seminars at sea. So that Med that I talked about, August 9th, look at the beautiful itinerary. It's Rome to Athens. Canada, New England on August 23rd. Still has space for you to join our BDM team there. Enchanted Princess. It has some wonderful ports and it's round trip New York. And then we've got the Pacific Wine Country that's in September on the Royal Princess. And that's a 7-day as well. And it's Vancouver to LA, but it has some really nice ports of call there as well. So calling to Seattle and Victoria, a stop in San Francisco. So we call it Pacific Wine Country because you can get out to Napa, right, while we're in San Francisco. So amazing opportunities. And then we also have the round trip New York, that is Canada, New England. We've got round trip San Juan. That is new for us. We haven't been in San Juan in 10 years. But this fall in October, we're starting and we've got a seminar at sea there so you can experience San Juan, Puerto Rico. We've got the 8-day Western Caribbean out of Galveston. So all of our wonderful trade partners that are in Houston, Texas in general can maybe drive up to this wonderful seminar at sea. And then we have ship inspections. Like we do all of this so that we can show you our beautiful options that you're selling to your guests, right? What's better than to experience what you're going to sell to your client? And so that's why we spend so much time focused on getting you onto our ships. Ship inspections, where you can tour the public venues and the staterooms. You can see for yourself what it's like with a medallion. You can enjoy lunch. So we do offer a sit-down lunch that is also very nice. And you can see the staterooms, right? And then one thing that I really appreciate about Princess is that we do a fantastic job of keeping all our ships looking tip-top. And so, we just did one, I think last week. It was Karen and Jill who did a ship inspection on the Ruby Princess, right? And she showed beautifully. And Cheryl, who was on with us just a second ago, is on Coral Princess, and she's raving about her as well. So anyway, beautiful ships to see, and you want to get on and take pictures, and you can kind of sell experientially. So coming soon, we love to make sure that you guys have brochures. So we have heard you loud and clear that brochures are absolutely needed. We've got the new spring 2026, spring 2027 destination collection on deck for you. The printable version is not ready yet, but it is coming soon. We do have the digital available now. So as soon as we have it available and ready for you to order, we will make sure you know that is there for you. But in the meantime, you can always look at the digital version until we've got the printed ready for you to order. We've also got a brand overview and a new cruise calendar. So February 26th through May 2027, this cruise calendar is wildly popular. I actually spend a lot of time looking at this calendar myself. I love this calendar. QR code here that takes you into where you can order these or download them. So again, this is another one that's coming soon. We'll be able to order it once it's got printed and into our stores so that we can send it out to you. But in the meantime, again, you've got the digital version until we can get the printed for you. And then Academy. So our guest talked about the Academy and how important that was to their success. So we highly recommend that if you have not become a Commodore yet, that you do take the time to get that done. If you've not taken the last 3 refreshers, make sure that you get that done. And we've got brand new refreshers available to you. And there were some accolades for the brand new refreshers as well, right? So Commodore benefits. So we've got the industry's best training, and it is really award-winning. When you become a Commodore, you get a free graduation cruise, and you don't lose that at any time. So we've had a couple people who've had it for a year or two because they just didn't have the time to sail, but you don't lose it. All you need to do is stay current with your refreshers to be eligible. Also, your agency needs to have 4 bookings in the year. We had turned that off during the situation we had with COVID and pause because we knew that was a difficult time for people to be able to make bookings. But 4 bookings, not for you individually, 4 bookings for your entire office. So that's totally doable. You also get elite level Captain Circle benefits when you sail with us. So, and I'm going to clarify this because we do get a lot of questions on this. Your color of your medallion is not going to change because you're a Commodore. The color of your medallion will always be the actual color for your status with Princess via the Captain Circle program, right? But even though you don't have a black, if you're not elite yet and your medallion isn't black, you still get the elite benefits, right, on board. You also get a $50 onboard credit for completing the refresher courses. And that's available every year. So every year that you do your refresher courses, you get $50 onboard credit. There's so many benefits here, and everything's listed on one source. So do not forget. Refresher courses, Sanctuary Collection, what's new and next with Princess. And then Cheryl talked about the Polar Online session that we have there as well. So refreshers due December 31st, 2025, so that you can remain active for 2026. So if you've already become a Commodore, make sure you do your refresher courses. You're going to get that $50 onboard credit, as well as be eligible to still take your Commodore cruise. So how are we doing? So we work really hard to be a pleasure to do business with. But the only way we can know that that's working, like what we're doing is working, is to ask you all. So we're doing a survey. There's a QR code here so that you can do the survey with us. QR code here where it'll take you directly to the survey. It's 3 questions. It will go in a little in depth about each of those 3 questions, but there's really only 3 questions. And it will also be in Carmen's TA newsletter that goes out later today. So if you don't catch it here with the QR code, please fill it out because we want to hear from you. We want to know what we're doing well, and we also want to know where we could improve. So we really appreciate your feedback. All right, news and notes. Okay, 2026 Grand Med Cruise, right? Amazing. So we did a webinar on this 2 weeks ago, and we had Debbie Holbrook as our guest, and she did a phenomenal job of explaining how special this voyage is. It's the first time for us doing something like this. look at the itinerary. Look at all of the amazing places that your client will get to go. Our guest earlier talked about the importance of groups. Groups are open now, so you can take out a group now, start promoting this, and get your guests booked on it. I suggest, I'm going to give another tip. Do not wait until you have the 5 staterooms. Open the group now, right? But we also work in the reverse. I suggest you open now because you also get the most amenity points the earlier you open. So open the group now, and then you can book people in it as you get them. But if you happen to not open a group and you end up with 5 bookings, you can then open a group and add those bookings into it as long as the voyage is still open for groups, right? So it works in both directions. I just suggest that you always start with opening the group first. This amazing voyage has early booking benefits to it. So you want to get your best guest booked on this before October 31st, as soon as possible, because also it's all about the location of your stateroom as well, right? So you get up to $1,000 onboard credit per stateroom when you've booked by October 31st. And then there's up to $1,000 onboard credit per stateroom for past guests if they book by May 21st. So that's the distinction there. So enjoy up to $2,000 of onboard credit, depending on your status with Princess. So if you booked with us previously, you get up to an extra $1,000. Pretty incredible offering. And then let's not forget about the 2027 World Cruise. It's our Grand Circle Pacific. We did a dedicated webinar on this as well. We talked about the Grand European Voyage as well as this Grand Circle Pacific at the same time. Debbie Holbrook did a fantastic job of breaking this down for us section by section. But you want to sell that full world cruise, right? January 21st is 114 days round trip LA. January 21st is 110 days LA to Vancouver. And then the special offering, the early booking deal that is here is also phenomenal. So this is if they book the full world cruise, they can get up to $3,000 onboard credit per stateroom. We're including free air for first class for suites and mini suites, economy for balconies. That's a game changer, right? It's to include the air. So if you don't happen to live in LA or Florida, we're going to get you there as long as you book during the early booking benefits. Also, if you book before October 31st, we're including Premier in this package. That is a game changer. That is over $20,000 in value. And it's covering the gratuities for your guests. It's covering drinks. It gives you unlimited casual dining and specialty dining. That's huge on a world cruise, right? And also includes your Wi-Fi. So that's up to $3,000 in savings per stateroom for past guests. Make sure that if you have your guests who will want a world cruise, that they book before October 31st of this year because it's the best deal. Get selling. Make sure that you're using the tools that we've provided to you. Joe and our trade marketing team, they do a phenomenal job of supplying you guys with all the tools that you need and the resources that you need to be able to sell these amazing voyages. So there is a QR code to get you to the tools. And then there's a QR code that takes you to our webinar from 2 weeks ago so that you can watch through that and learn all the great things and the benefits of doing the World Cruise with Princess. All right, so we've got May 1st through May 7th. We've got this amazing Global Love Week. So, we're all about the love. So it's up to $700 instant savings, plus up to 40% off. There's free room upgrades, and then there's a $99 deposit. Everybody likes a reduced deposit, right? And then May 1st to June 30th, we've got Princess up to $400 into savings, an additional 40% off cruise fare. Again, the free room upgrade, and again, the reduced deposit. We're also offering a special shore excursion special. So May 6th through May 12th, you're saving 25% off on shore excursions that you confirm with your client through Princess. So make sure your clients know if you've already got people booked, this is the time to secure shore excursions because they got a little bit of a sale going on for those. And we don't do that very often. So that's pretty special. We also have a Canadian resident rate offer going. So this is through May 31st. It's 10% instant savings. This does combine with the limited time offers we just talked about. So the great deals are going, and our Canadian residents are getting additional 10% off. It's available on select 2025, 2027 sailings, This QR code takes you to the list of voyages and to our flyer as well for our Canadian partners. We love all of our trade partners. And again, my favorite part of this, and I'll land here just for a second, is this grid that Joe and team puts together, because sometimes it's hard to keep straight what offer gives what. And I just love the fact that this is so simple with check marks. All right, we talked about this before, but there is effective May 1, which is today. We're increasing the Princess Plus and Premier price when purchased on board. This is likely to help you all encourage your clients to purchase Plus and Premier before they leave, because now when they purchase it on board, it's going to be more expensive than when you offered it to them before they left for their cruise. So hopefully that is helpful for you all. Specialty dining changes. We talked about this before. It went into effect April 15th. The prices have changed and all that's been updated. But the one thing that is really stand out here is that Love by Burrito is now included in our specialty dining lineup. It's no longer considered experiential. So the price point for Love by Burrito actually went down. It's now $60 per adult. So, and included, like if you have Premier, now included in your ability to dine there with your Premier package. All right, effective July 1, we no longer will be accepting checks as a form of payment. We don't get many checks anymore, but we just are trying to simplify the process. And given that we don't get very many, we want to make it official that we're no longer accepting checks, right? But we do always accept wire payment, and the details are here in this QR code. We've also armed your business development manager and our contact center with all the details. So do not send us anything after July 1 in the form of a check. But there's plenty of things plenty of other ways to pay. Most people are using a credit card, but you also have PayPal, and you can also wire payments. And this QR code is giving you the information on how to do so. All right. Don't forget to like Carmen on Facebook. I see every once in a while that her numbers are going up, and I'm really excited because all of the news and information, plus our information about our webinars, our Connect with Princess, are with Carmen on Facebook, and it's listed at facebook.com/princessvpsales. Just look that up and like her on Facebook so that you can get all of the ins and outs about Princess. All right, it's time for prizes, and then we're going to go to our Q&A. Hopefully we have time. That was a lot of talking. Let's see. Okay, where are the prizes? Joe, did you share that with me? Is it on Teams? Give us a second here, guys.
Why don't we do a couple of questions? I'm waiting on the list to come in.
Okay, perfect. Let's do Q&A and then we'll come back to the prizes. Thanks. Thank you, Joe.
Sorry.
All right, Q&A. No problem. All right, we're going to scan for more information here too as well.
Hey, Marcia, I think you put it in the private chat, actually.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
If you want to do that.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, I think I have seen it. Okay. Okay, we've got our winners. Okay, so I don't know that we shared what we were actually giving away here, but we are giving away 5 $100 Princess gift cards. And then we're also giving away 5 t-shirts, which are the Keep Calm and Call a Travel Advisor. Do you guys remember those? It's that pretty blue, and it's Keep Calm and Call a Travel Advisors. Our team has worn those for a while. And every time we wear them, we get travel advisors asking us, how do I get one of those shirts? So we're going to give some of those away today. All right, let's start with the t-shirt winners. Let me see. Let me get here. There's a lot going on here. Okay, so our t-shirt winners are Debbie Barclay from Curated Travel Collection in Ellicott City, Maryland. Congratulations, Debbie. She's a winner of a Keep Calm and Call a Travel Advisor t-shirt. Michelle Rosebach, If You Can Dream It Travel from Beechwood, New Jersey. Congratulations on your t-shirt win. Shade Watson from IntelliTravel, Delray Beach. Yeah, you've got a new t-shirt coming to you. Ladonia Turk from IntelliTravel as well, Raleigh, North Carolina. Congratulations. And our last t-shirt winner is Lucy Lorea, Sun Travel Incorporated, El Paso, Texas. I love that it was like kind of all over the nation. Super cool. Congratulations all on your t-shirts. We will email you shortly with trying to get your information so that we can mail that t-shirt out to you at home. All right, let's go with our winners of the gift card. All right, so first winner of our $100 Princess gift card is Janice Hillman from the cruise company in Sanford, Florida. Congratulations, Janice. Also, Julie Ellis from Cruise and Tours Unlimited in Jacksonville, Florida. Congratulations, Julie. Samir Sen, hope I said your name right, which is Expedia Cruises, Mississauga East, Ontario, Canada. Yay, we've got our Canadian in there. Congratulations. Jacqueline Sodade is from AAA Mountain West Group in Sparks, Nevada. Congratulations, Jacqueline, on your win of the $100 Princess gift card. And then our last winner is Nancy Brazil from All World Cruises in Las Vegas, Nevada. Congratulations, everybody. Super excited for you. So we will be in touch. We've got your email addresses from your registration. For those that have won a Princess gift card, the card will be electronic and come to you via email. For those that have won a t-shirt, we will be reaching out to you to get your information, find out what size you would like, and your address so that we can mail that to you. Congratulations, everybody. And thank you for sticking with us on the webinar. All right, so let's hit some questions, Joe. All right, here's the first one. Now, these questions I picked from the pre-registration. So thank you guys so much for being very vocal and asking lots of good questions in pre-registration. First question we're going to cover is, are canned sodas now an additional charge if you have Plus and Premier package? So I want to explain this. So originally, when we came out with Plus and Premier, we did not include our canned sodas in those packages originally. And then somewhere along the way, we started including it based on feedback. And since we've been offering it, we've come to find that it's actually not the best idea and use of resources to include the soda can. So we have recently decided to go back to what we originally had, and soda cans are not included in Plus and Premier. And there's going to be a rollout along our fleet. Some of the ships have already changed, and as they change, you'll see a difference in whether the soda can would be included or not. If it is not included, we are giving you a 25% discount if you prefer to have a can. But what is unlimited, what has always been unlimited, is any fountain drink. So anything we have on the fountain is included in the package, and it is unlimited with no additional cost. Hopefully that answers that question for you. We were getting a lot of those questions from our partners and some of our guests. What's our next question? So for groups, should I continue to use one gap point for everyone to dine together, even though you now have the dine line? This is a really good question. And so my recommendation is this. You are given gap points, and you can make the decision on whether you want to take the 1 point to have our dine team. We have a group on board services team that will coordinate the dining for you if you use the point. And so that, I think, might be handy if you have a large group, right? If you have 45 people, that might be useful because it might be easier to do that than to call the dine line. You can call the dine line and they will help you arrange the dining for that group of 45. Might be just a little bit more cumbersome to do it that way, right? We'll take care of you either way. But I suggest carving out a point for groups if dining is really important and you've got a large number, like say, 30 up to 49 people, because at 50, you automatically get assistance, right? You don't need to use a point. Hopefully that's helpful. That's a good question because now that we have dine line, it does make you wonder if you should use a point. All right. If a client books future cruises while on board, how does the booking agent get credit for these cruises? Great. Another great question. You guys had some great questions. So when you bring a guest to us and they sail on our ship and they participate in the future cruise deposit offering, which is I'm going to give $100 to $200 for 2 people now. And so that when I make my booking, I'm going to get an onboard credit for having done this on board. You get a notification that your guest did that because you brought them to us. If they go to the Future Cruise deposit team and they actually make an actual booking, you also get a booking confirmation so that you know that that guest has been booked with our team on board. We always book the guest under the TA that brought them to us on board the ship. The only exception would be if the guest asks us to do otherwise. And we're very, very, very careful because we want to be protective of anyone that was brought to us by a TA. So if the guest decides like, hey, I want to book with someone else, or I want to book directly with Princess, we actually make them sign something to say that that's the choice that they have made. This does not happen very often at all, right? But when it does, we make sure that we have documentation to show that that was what the guest wanted. So we want to book that guest with you again because you brought them to us originally. All right, next question. How do you honor your military vets? So we have a full-on program for this. Military vets are important to us. And so I'm switching to a slide where Joe has conveniently created QR codes so you can get to our military benefit flyer. You can get up to $250 in onboard credit if you are an active military professional, retired military, or even disabled military. All you have to do is register with Princess one time. And then every time you sail with us, that's attached to their Captain Circle number, and they will automatically get an onboard credit based on the length of the voyage that they book. So we love military. We really thank them for their service. And so they will automatically get something from us as long as they have registered. All right, next question. Do you have any information for accessible cruising? We absolutely do. Our team put together this phenomenal brochure about accessibility at sea and cruising with Princess. And so there is a QR code that takes you to that brochure as well. And there's a digital version, or you can order it into your office. All right, and then we have a QR code here too. I want to mention this again about the marketing survey. So please make sure that you look at that offering on the survey, participate in the survey, and let us know what we could be doing better. We want to be easy to do business with. That is our entire goal. And we also want to continue to show our travel advisors all the love. I think that was our last question. Is that correct? Yep, I think that was our last question. Yeah, Joe, is that what you're going to say? Yes, last question. So I want to thank everybody for sticking with us. Thank you so much for attending. Congratulations to our winners. Make sure that you guys are going on OneSource and signing up for our ship visits, signing up for our Love Fest. Come join us on a seminar at sea. We want to see you. We want to share the love with you. And we can't thank you enough for everything that it is you do and in sending your clients and trusting your clients with Princess. We love travel advisors. Happy Travel Advisor Day when that comes on the 7th. And again, we love travel advisors every single day. Thank you for joining us.